Do you think as well as being sort of now the story or telling the story, are you sort of now a spokesperson for all these people? Because as you said yourself, one officer, when reflecting on that day in Baghdad, as horrific as it was for you, said, just an average day in Baghdad.
Yeah. It's been very strange to be in this position because partly you want to be a spokesperson. And then some people have said to me, but who the heck are you? You're just some reporter. Well, yes, I am not in uniform. I did not take the risks 365 days a year like most of those kids do who are doing a deployment, going out into the red zone day after day with a target on their back. But something about that day, maybe it's because it was different, maybe it's because no network had lost so many people in one day. It was Memorial Day. It was a slow news day. And there was drama because I died 5 times on the operating table. There was a real doubt as to whether I'd make it. Then there was a doubt as to whether I'd wake up with brain damage because of the shrapnel in my head. And then they had to fight for 3 days to keep both my legs. But I think the other thing that went on is people had gotten so numb to some of the headlines that all of a sudden there was this, just one individual. And they've done some tests on, some sociological tests. If you take a group of 10 people and tell them you can donate to this child or to these 2 children or to these 5 children, they found statistically the single child will get the most money because people can relate to the individual. So I think that's why I got such an outsized amount of attention at the time, and I was uncomfortable with it then. And then I've been, when some people have said, who the heck are you to stand up and say, oh, and this happened to me. Well, yeah, okay, they're right. At the same time, I lived one part of what the troops are going through, the combat injured part. And one part of that, I had a TV network taking care of me. I didn't have to battle the bureaucracy to get my bills paid or things like that. And my family was able to stay by my side. I don't know how most of the troops can, yes, there are places like Fisher House to put them up, but rehabilitation can take 1 year to 2 years, and hey, your family's got to go back to work. So, but I did live one slice of it, so I tried to, in this book, say, okay, here's what it's like when you wake up in the hospital bed. Here's the endless round of the nurses who've been working 18-hour shifts and then come in on their days off. Here are the surgeons who have, one guy had 70 different patients at one time. I don't know when they slept. And then I didn't get to see many troops in the hospital. We all had Acinetobacter. It's a bacteria that's found in Iraq, found in Afghanistan, found frequently in a combat hospital setting. So we were all in isolation. So it was very hard to get to meet them. But I got to meet their caregivers, and that's the story I tried to get across.